In reality, you see walls only on 3 sides, but don't forget the lift pit goes right below the ground. So you will have all 4 walls. You will have all 4 walls as shear walls, and you will give center lines to all 4 of its walls and the extents that are there. Yeah.
Yeah. And in the like last time we discussed the BOQ, but can we like in the second part of the lecture when we're like revising the BOQ, can we like add a basement in it and see how like the how we have to
Sure, sure. I will do that. Yes, I will do that. I will take all items of the basement. I will
and
go step by
uh,
step, right from clearing, excavation, PCC at the bed, raft, retaining wall, waterproofing, everything I will cover. Don't worry.
okay. And
Item wise, yeah,
yeah.
item wise.
Thank you.
Is there any specific method to show like a catwalk plan, or do we have to just give like show the bridges or whatever?
A reflected ceiling plan is in which everything will be seen. A reflected ceiling plan is in which you will be in a position to see what is a where you don't forget just above the stage is a reflector. So you'll be able in a position to show in a reflected ceiling plan the extent of your reflector. You know what is a reflector? I hope you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reflects the sound right till the ends of the auditorium. So the first element in the false ceiling is a reflector. Beyond that are all either absorptors or diffusers. So you'll have to show those. They may be in you as per design, they may be just linear bands, they may be fragmented elements. It all depends. The false ceiling is your design. So you will represent that in a reflected ceiling plan, and so should you put lights there in the reflected ceiling plan. Accordingly, you will have the position of the catwalk. So the plan of the catwalk, the position of the lights and the position of the reflected ceiling plan is all that you will see in one drawing. Clear?
Do we have the reflected ceiling plan for tomorrow?
Not that I am aware of. No.
All right. And
But if you may, but if it is, if you have time, do make it. If not, you may be, it may be expected next Wednesday.
all right.
Because it's
And
barely anything. It's barely anything.
and the last question is like a little more specific, so I'm just gonna share my
What
screen.
related to what?
The setting out drawing.
Okay.
My side boundaries are not a square, so would this count as a perpendicular, or like would it have to be perpendicular
No,
as
this is
per
not a
the?
perpendicular. This is not a perpendicular. It has to be perpendicular to your site.
Okay, okay.
It has to
Yeah.
come perpendicular to your site. So the
All right.
perpendicular to your site, and I must tell you that your building is much closer to other parts of the site. Why will you take where the, are you getting
No,
what I'm
I
saying?
was choosing a corner, so I was
No,
wondering.
don't use it because that corner is very far. What is the distance of that corner from that column?
22 meter.
That's larger than that's larger than a tape. So you're bound to get some error. So take this corner, the corner of the staircase block. If you take the corner of
This
the staircase block, any of these that are coming so close to the boundary, man, yeah. So take it and take any of the column that is close to the boundary, mark the distance from the corner. So first of all, for any of these columns, take a perpendicular to your side boundary, and
yeah.
give the horizontal distance from the corner. So that
All
will mark the, yeah,
yeah. All
yeah.
right. All
And then you
right.
can take any one angular distance
So
maybe
sorry.
from the corner.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll
But
do that.
don't forget, the perpendicular is from your corner, from the site to your corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the perpendicular.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm done with the question.
Anybody else?
I had a few questions about the columns as well. I'll share my AutoCAD screen.
Yeah.
I'll just do the full screen only. So in some of my columns, they are not aligned center to center, but rather to the side. Like if you see the line up on this orange line. So for the center line, I will draw a center line for these ones which are horizontal and these ones which are vertical separately, right?
Yes. Yes.
Even if it's like
If you
slightly
can,
apart.
this first of all, if you can align them to the same center, nothing like it. But if you think
Ah.
that you can't align them for whatever reason that may be there, then you will have two
Hmm.
separate center lines, one for the vertical columns, one for the horizontal columns.
Right. And I didn't understand exactly what you meant by the shear wall. So I will have one center line coming for these columns that meets the shear wall
No,
here.
you will have a center line for the vertical. You will have one
Huh.
center line for the vertical, that is along the
Huh.
thickness of the wall, and you will give two center lines at either edges.
Oh, got it, got it. And then they just say that
Such that
idhar is
such that the
0.5
length of
meters
the
out.
such that the entire length of the wall is understood.
So it's like how we give the column spacing. So the shear wall we give as a column spacing instead of a
I've explained
diameter.
what I want to say. What
Yeah,
you will
I understood. I understood now.
one
That
you will have one center line along its vertical and two lines marking the edge.
Hmm.
Both the edges, yes, this and that, yes. So the entire length of the wall is understood. Yeah, that
So
goes
do we
for
put it in
all.
the column?
That goes for all shear walls, all retaining walls, all long columns, etc. Yeah,
Right. And how do we mention them in the
you
thing,
don't need
the
to
column
mention
or
anything.
table then?
Haji,
When we make the table to write down each column as like 2A and 3D and all of those.
give them a
How do you
give a separate category, no? Give a
Okay.
separate category as shear walls.
Okay. And
Just
here my columns are
just number them and give them a separate category and call them shear walls. You will always have a shear wall for your lift, no? Similarly, you call these also under the pretext of shear wall. Don't forget, shear walls are half the thickness of columns. No shear wall is more than 150 mm thick.
right.
So please don't compare a long shear wall to that of a column and say it has the same thickness of a column. The minute you say it's a shear wall, that means it's just 150, whereas no column is less than 300.
Right. Right. And here I have my columns mostly embedded in the retaining wall only. So I will label my columns separately in the table. Right.
Yeah,
And the reinforcements in terms of the actual structure, the reinforcements will still be going down through the retaining wall and then the retaining
yes,
wall is built around them, right?
yes.
For my
All of
BOK
that will remain, and the column nomenclature will continue as being part of the retaining wall.
Yeah, understood that. And okay, I think that's it for me. Then just basic. I have a few other doubts, but I don't know if you'll be taking them now. Like, if I have my plinth rising like this, will this all be PCC and all that? So will you be taking those as well, or?
What are you talking about?
So my plinth kind of, this is the only part that I haven't fully detailed out is like individual volumes, but my plinth is like this and my staircase is coming out. So there's the pavement here for which I put the PCC bed. And
Okay.
then I have a ramp coming like this and my staircase. So will can I make the whole thing with PCC and then finish the tiles and
You have to put member. No, all these extensions have to have stub columns and beams below it. Just putting
so it'll be
PCC
like,
is not going to work. It is all going to get into the ground.
right, right.
So please put some minor, if you have any extended plinths, having it like staircases like the way you're showing, steps, are what is called as an extended plinth. Extended plinths preferably should have small footings and stub columns to take their load. Otherwise, no sooner than later, these will sink below the ground.
Or at least a cantilever plinth.
Yeah, or a bracket from the nearby column to make a cantilever beam. Yeah.
Right. I'll do that then. But the above ground part is correct. Like I've got my ramp, gravel soling and then just a block of PCC which I cast my stairs and my ramp out of and put threading and tiling over it. Right.
Yeah.
And here,
Actually, you will not fill all of it with PCC. You will only make the side walls either in brick or in concrete, and you will fill it with mud packing or dry rubble packing.
Oh, got it.
You don't need to fill all of it with PCC. You do dry rubble packing and then finish it off with PCC.
I'll redo this part then. I think this is the only issue like that. And here, this will meet the municipal footpath, which has its own drain and everything. So here, I don't need to put a retaining wall, right? Because the municipal drain has its own retaining walls to support itself.
No,
Like
you don't depend on anything with regards to municipality. What you have to provide, you have to provide.
So here I'll be putting a retaining wall, right? In front, on
Of
the
course,
front
otherwise
edge.
everything will cave in if you
Got
start
it. This is the
depending on
only part
others.
I've got explained. So then I'll fill in that with a retaining wall and I'll fix the footings also. And that's okay. I think that's it then. Thank you.
Who's going next? Yes, who's going next?
I have one question. So when we make the foundation plan, so will the plinth beams be in dotted or the footings in dotted?
Anything. Why should both anything be in dotted? They can all be visible. Nothing needs to be in dotted. It's a plan. So you will see the footing also in full line along with its PCC at the periphery, and
Yeah.
will you see the plinth beams also in full line. Why do you need to show anything in dotted?
Okay. No. So I was assuming that I'll cut the foundation plan from the column, so the plinth beams will be above.
Wherever you show, if you cut from a little higher, the columns a little higher from the plinth beam, but naturally you will see the plinth beams in elevation, so they'll all be thin lines. Yeah.
And we
It-
also have to, when we make a foundation plan, we'll also have to put plinth beam schedule and foundation footing schedule.
No, I don't think so. That is not what we are expecting. We are not expecting any schedules for beams. As of
Okay.
now, we don't expect any schedule. All our schedules are only with regards to columns as of now.
Okay.
And footings get their schedule from the column itself, so you don't need to worry about that.
Okay.
There are usually no separate footing schedules.
Okay, but we'll need to make the foundation plan for the BOQ, right?
Yes, you need to make the foundation plan to see if footings are not clashing.
Okay.
So if you find two footings too close by, and then you decide to make these two footings as a combined footing or stuff like that, then but naturally for that it is necessary that the drawing becomes evitable. And don't forget, the more than the footing drawing, what is important is the plinth beam, because you will have additional plinth beams that are going where columns are not there. Any wall that you make on the ground floor will preferably have a plinth beam to be seen. You do not make any ground floor, you do not make any walls on the ground floor, thereby expecting its load to come on the PCC. Below the PCC, there has to be a plinth beam to be able to take the load of a wall on the ground floor. So you will find that other than the plinth beams going from column to column, you will have many more plinth beams that are positioned based on your ground floor plan. So when I check a foundation drawing, I always look at the ground floor plan and refer back to the plinth beam drawing to be able to see where your walls are on the ground floor, and accordingly have you provided corresponding plinth beams in the foundation. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a hint that plinth beam drawing will always be checked with the ground floor plan based on the walls that are there on the ground floor.
Okay, thank you.
All walls on ground floor should have a corresponding plinth beam in the foundation drawing. Yes, who is going? Anybody else?
Jimmy, I had a question. So if we have a basement and a raft foundation and a retaining wall, is there a need of a plinth beam or a tie beam?
No, of course not. But naturally, the whole idea of a plinth beam has gone over, because instead of the plinth beam is there only when you have a plinth. In the case of a basement, now you have what is called as a slab at the ground floor level. So the whole concept of the plinth beam goes off. It has disappeared. So most people will not have a plinth beam drawing. Most people will have a slab drawing at the ground floor, because that's what's going to act as your new plinth. Have I answered your question?
Yes, and also because the retaining walls come over the slab, so the slab dotted drawing won't be seen, right? Only the retaining wall will be seen.
No, I didn't understand this question.
So when we're denoting the raft foundation slab, will it be seen in the drawing because the retaining walls will come over it, right?
Of course, you will see the toe of the raft will always be seen, no?
Okay.
The toe of the raft, I have explained what the toe of the raft is in a lecture. The toe of the raft always goes beyond the retaining wall, right? So you
Yeah,
will
right.
always see the toe of the raft. So beyond the retaining wall, there will always be a projection on all four sides, which is the extension of the raft beyond the retaining wall. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Okay.
Because I've clearly shown when I draw a section, I've told you that the toe of a raft always goes beyond the retaining wall to help you do all kind of waterproofing exercises. Barabar hai?
Yeah.
So in plan, you may see in dark the retaining wall, but you will always see an elevation line, which is the toe of the retaining wall, toe of the raft in plan. Am I very clear?
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else?
I have a doubt.
Please go ahead.
In case we're using drop panels in basement, how do we decide the size of the drop panel with respect to the column or the span we are using?
Drop panel, I didn't understand this term. What do you mean by drop panel?
In a flat slab, when we give capital and drop panel and the
Ah.
beams are in,
So what about
How-
that?
decide how much offset do we take or what is the size of the drop panel then?
Drop panel is always from the center of the column on either side 1/4. It is as wide as that of the beam strip. So I have told you that the entire columns, the entire bay between two columns is divided into 4 parts. 1/4 from here, 1/4 as the beam strip, then half that of slab strip and the other beam strip on the other side. So your drop panel, when you take 1/4 and 1/4 on either side, so if you put the column in the center, the drop panel will as good as be half the width of the span. Have you got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you draw a column, put a center line, and between two columns, if that is your span, you will divide it into 1/4, half, 1/4. The 1/4 on one side is the beam strip, the 1/4 on the other side. So if you add two 1/4s, your entire beam strip is going to be half of that of the span, and that entire area may be the drop panel. Sometimes the drop panel can afford to be a little smaller, but you can afford to take it for the entire 1/4 of the thing. This is just to make it easier. Yeah.
So 1/4 on both the sides then.
1/4 on both the side of the column. Exactly.
Okay, and by chance, if in some cases the columns are nearby, so can one drop panel be shared by two columns?
Could be possible. Yes. Yes.
Like a
It's
combined footing, it is.
Yes, it's possible. Though it doesn't make sense because flat slabs are meant to span as good as 8 to 9 meters. Yeah. Anything beyond 6 meters can yet be addressed with the help of a flat slab. It wouldn't make sense to have columns close by, but you never know. One odd column or so is fine. I hope you're not talking about another line of columns.
No, just two columns which are coming from top but landing in a weird way in the basement. Just for that, they're close by. That's why.
Sure.
Rest the span is okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Atharva, Deep, who's going next?
Deep, go
Hi.
ahead. Okay, Atharva, I just finished. So I just wanted saying that part like half of my structure is load bearing walls. I have local material laterite stone, so I'm using that. So when I plan, all those walls will come in center line plan as well.
Of course. Of course. That what do you think I've been explaining till now?
Yeah.
All walls will have center line drawing, but the center line drawing will be different. Along the thickness of the wall will be one center, and along the edges of the walls will be other two lines to mark the entire length of the wall. Is this clear to you?
Yeah, I was just confirming that. Sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Of course, all load bearing walls, all shear walls, all retaining walls, all walls will have center line drawing. The only thing is Like a column, you are marking a point via the center line. Here you will mark the entire segment. Thereby, you will put a center line along the thickness and you will put two lines to mark the entire length of the wall by marking their edges. I hope this is very clear, Deep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, Atharva.
And
tell
when
me.
we show it in the, sorry, Jimmy, when we show it in the schedule, so we'll show we show a point as 3A because that's where the 3 and A lines intersect. But let's say I have a wall going between, like I have a retaining wall going between A and B line, and along its thickness is along 3. So I'll put it in the schedule as 3AB, right?
Yes, AB, wall AB. Everybody
Okay.
knows what's a wall here. So it will be labeled either as wall 1 or wall AB. And you will dig and you will write in the schedule whether it's a retaining wall, whether it's a shear wall, whether it's a load bearing wall. That is what is more important. For them to understand what's the material of that wall and what's the thickness. Yeah. Any other query, Deep, or or Atharva can ask? I don't find
No.
people sharing drawings, which is worrisome, which only may be indicating, and the response is so poor of asking doubts, which makes me worried whether people did work for their technology studio over the weekend. God bless you all. If you have not worked over the weekend and if you think you're going to start now and finish work for tomorrow, God bless you all. Yeah. This is third year. Technology studios are very serious businesses. Yeah. I just wish you all the luck. Yes. Atharva, can you go ahead with your query?
Yeah, so if I have a plot which is by 30 meters by 30 meters, but my structure is in the center and it is around 15 meters by 15 meters. So my column goes down like straight in the square format. But if I want my basement to be extended till the boundary edge, so there would be a retaining wall going throughout my boundary edge. So
Yeah.
would there be a pilaster or a column reinforced between the walls? Do we need?
Between the walls, why don't you share the screen? Why are we talking all this? I don't understand. I'm not understanding your till you said that you have a retaining wall that goes right up to the edge. That I can understand. That is possible. But naturally, if it is spanning 15 meters, you will have a set of columns for the extended basement. But now what are you saying further than that? I'm not understanding.
Okay, someone go. I will just open my CAD. I'm on my phone. Then I will screen share it.
Please never share, never attend lectures on phone. This is ridiculous, man. How you can see someone else is presenting a drawing, you will never be able to see it. And you please go on the computer because I think you all should all be on the computer working simultaneously. Simultaneously, you should be working on your BOQ or drawing or something like that. Why are you on the phone? Unless you're having lunch simultaneously. Yes, please go ahead. Tanvi,
Can I
Sejal,
go? I can.
Yeah.
I can go next.
Is it fine if I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. I just had some doubts regarding the alignment of columns. Should I share my screen? Also, even the placement.
What is there to take permission now? Quickly, you should share. Come on.
Is it visible?
Yeah.
Hello?
Tell me. Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically, I'm not sure about my placement of the columns because
that cannot be solved here. That cannot be solved. How can
moreover,
you not be sure about the columns? We've discussed this like 3 times in the studio now. I told you to put additional columns. It looks like you have done that. It's good enough. Good enough.
yeah, but like about the center line. So basically, since these columns are kind of aligned in this angle, so this line will go straight up like this. So there would be a perpendicular line that which is perpendicular to this line, right? And
go perpendicular to your column, and at the edges you will mark the distance at which this is the tilt of the center line.
Okay, all right. So
Your center line is tilting, no? So
yeah.
you take the center line right till the end and mark
Okay.
what is the tilt between the vertical line and the tilted line.
Yeah, so the
So
angles basically.
at one end it may be 5 meters, at the other end it may be 7 meters.
Okay, yeah, all
That's
right.
it. Automatically, if you mark those two edges, you know that the center line is not going straight. One center line is straight, the other is at an angle. Khatam.
Right.
कोई
Yeah.
angle देने की जरूरत नहीं है. Column
Yeah.
position we will discuss tomorrow.
Okay.
I think it is more or less right. There is no issue. Yes, who's going next?
I'll go next. I'll
Yes.
present.
Yeah.
Stop
Thank
sharing
you.
your screen, Gargi.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so you talked about the shear walls wala thing, and last time also in studio we discussed about the column placement. So I wanted to ask, like, this is the frames which are coming out of the offset is like 1 meter. So the center line will be same as the shear wall that you talked about earlier with Deep and someone.
No, your center line will be based on the small column that is sitting on top of the retaining wall.
As in like this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That is right. So you don't need to worry about the 1 meter long column. That in the what you need to draw is in this drawing you may need to draw the profile of the portal by the side to show that your column is narrow down, is small down, and it broadens as it goes up, right?
Okay.
So you may draw one cross section of the column at the side, and anybody who's seeing both the drawings will.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, apologies. My laptop just shut down because I had not on the switch. It doesn't give any warning that it is low on battery. So yeah. So Sejal, you understood?
Yeah, I got
Mark
it.
the
So
center line presently for the smaller part of your portal, and at the side draw a profile of the portal so that everybody knows that the portal comes on a hinge that sits on top of your retaining wall, and the portal becomes broad as it goes above. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Just one cross section, one schematic cross section between of the portal vis-a-vis the retaining wall. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry. If you don't have it for tomorrow also, when I'm sketching tomorrow, I can help you do that. But as of now, the center line that you have done in conjunction to your retaining wall and columns that are sitting in those positions, it is right. There is nothing to be worried. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
I have a very small doubt. So if a column is not a rectangle, it's in some different shape. Does the footing also take the same shape, or can it be a rectangle or a square?
Footings are usually squarish or rectangles. Whatever be the shape of the column, it doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
As far as the spread of the load is taking place well, there's nothing to be worried. Yeah. Sahil, I see all this. Yeah,
Jimmy,
all
I
this-
have. Yeah.
Yes.
So I have columns which at an angle. So how will that be reflected in the center line plan?
Columns at an angle. I just told Gargi that is there. Draw out the entire center line at an angle, and just at the there are two ways. Either you coincide that angular center line with one of the center lines that are going straight. Suppose you extend the center line. Suppose you have an angular column. You draw the center line. It is at an angle. You extend that center line. It may just go and touch any other center. Okay. Then that becomes the reference point to draw the center line. It's like 2 points, right? If you have 2 points, then you can draw any kind of line between those 2 points. Then whether those 2 points are at an angle or straight or whatever that is there. So just draw the center lines between the angular points. And when I look at the drawing tomorrow, or when anybody's guide looks at that, they will try to see whether there is any reference to that angular line. And they will ask you, or they will guide you, why don't you give this reference from here or there, either from the nearby column, or as I told Gargi, the reference between the vertical center line and the angular center line. Some distance you will have to give. Automatically, when you fix the distance, you have got a reference to an angular center line. There's no problem at all.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Bhavika.
Yeah, I had a doubt about setting out plans, so I'll just share my screen.
Quickly.
Is the screen visible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my site is like uneven and there is a small structure here. So I thought I'll use one of the corners of this as a datum point for the setting out.
Good enough. Of course, it's perfect.
So
take the corner of that to any of the corners. That will be the angular dimension. Yeah. Okay. Then you'll take one perpendicular from your building there. Okay. Perpendicular from your new datum point, that is the existing building. From there you will draw a perpendicular line, and then in order to the distance from the perpendicular line to your column.
Okay, got it.
Got it?
Yeah, I also had a doubt, like I have steel I sections, so there will be these footings and footings for them in the basement.
No, there will be first columns. There will be first stub columns onto which these I sections sit. Barabar? So you will do the center line for the stub columns. Yeah, automatically the stanchion will sit in the center of those stub columns. So you don't need to worry whether there are I sections or what hollow sections or whatever. कल का center line के लिए तो आपको RCC column ही देख के चलना है.
Okay, no, I had a doubt about these ones since they are eccentric. So how will the column?
Don't worry, that is good. That is sitting on a retaining wall, no?
Yes.
Oh, there's nothing to worry. The retaining wall has enough toe. That problem is that because you are not showing the toe on the other side. The day you know that a retaining wall comprises of a toe on the other side, then you'll gather that the footing on this side and the toe on the other side makes up for the entire footing, and it is no longer eccentric.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Please indicate the toe of the retaining wall on the other side. Automatically, you will get it right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else? Shall I now start picking names to know what is the extent of work that is done by people? Because I see people now don't have any more doubts. Anybody else with any doubts?
Yeah, hi Jimmy.
Yeah.
Actually, my lift shaft ka shear walls are like coming on my footing, which is a slope footing for a column.
Okay. So merge. See, please understand that your lift shaft walls finally go down to make an entire footing below. Okay.
Yeah.
On all four sides of your lift shaft, you will have a extended footing at the end of it to finally take care of the load. Just merge your lift shaft ka footing with that of the nearby footing. Khatam baat.
Yeah, but the nearby footing is a sloped footing. So should
Why
I
will
make
it?
it flat?
You will not make it a slope footing. You will make it a rectangular footing.
Okay. Yeah.
You just make a note at the side that column so and so has a rectangular footing of the same size of the footing that is meant for the shear wall number this, such that they all can merge and it can be a combined footing.
Yeah, and the depth will be same for the both.
Depth will be the same, level will also be the same.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
such that it can all merge well. And perhaps there may be a connecting beam also at the depth of the considering the depth of that footing.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because all combined footings usually have a connected beam inside. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that they don't displace each other. Otherwise, वो column का load ज़्यादा है, lift shear wall का अलग है. So then each of these footings start moving separately and they can afford to shear at the underground level. So if you have a connecting beam in that, it's part of the structural design. You don't need to think about it. Bottom line, give them at the same level, give them at the same thickness, and keep them at the same level, give the same thickness. Avoid the two to look different.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Thanks, Aditya. Anybody else?
I had a doubt that if the lift is going to till the basement, will there be some part below the basement raft for the equipment?
For the equipment?
Like there are spring members below the.
Of course, the shear wall, the lift pit is always going to go beyond the basement. How can the lift pit end at the basement level? You are asking a silly question, Mr. Tanay.
No, I wanted to know. I wanted to confirm that and know the depth.
They will please understand. Basements have numerous subterranean. See, first of all, the basement is below the ground. But even at the basement level, there will be things that are going below the basement level. What are they? One is the lift pit. Then there will be sump pit that is going to collect the water that floods in the basement. Then there may be water tanks. So these things are going to go beyond the shear, beyond the so to say raft of the basement. Are you getting the question? Have you got the answer?
Yes, thank you.
So that their level will be much deeper. That is exactly what I told Aditya, that the level of the footing for the shear wall will be much lower than that of the so to say of the basement raft. And so though that particular column that is coming close to that column will also go as deep such that both their footings can merge. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, got it.
Who's going next?
How do we indicate what is below the raft, like in a normal line only with like less line weight? That's it, or dotted?
Haji. No, nothing that is required. No, nothing of that. Nothing of those. See, your shear wall, as far as you show the shear wall, that's good enough. Then beyond the I'm talking about with both Tanay and Aditya is something meant for the foundation. So that is not expected in this drawing. So you don't need to worry.
It will be there in the foundation drawing, right?
It may be there in the foundation drawing. Yes, the shear walls will show its outer dotted footing in the foundation drawing, either dotted or full line, whatever that is there. So suddenly the number of students reduced from 75 to 68. Good. This is a perfect time to download the attendance. Yeah. Anybody else? Aishwarya, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Aishwarya, you don't have any doubts? Have you start solving the so to say setting out and center line drawing? Everything is very clear.
I had one doubt with my center line plan. I have a lot of slant columns, so I was confused as to how I would name them.
You can name what? Name the center line, overall center line.
Yeah. So you
can make separate groups. So the first group can start with A, B, C, D. Next group can start with X, Y, Z. Then another group can start with U, T, V, W. Are you getting it?
But
You
there
can
are
give various.
can I show? I mean, I don't have it completely figured out yet, but
But this is but that is exactly what I'm saying. When things are not completely figured out, and if you don't ask in today's just now's class, how do you expect to resolve it today evening for tomorrow's submission? So this is the perfect place to ask. Go ahead.
Right.
Please
So
zoom in. I can't see it. I can't see it. Zoom in.
So I have these set of columns which are going in this direction.
So that's A and B, so to say.
Yeah, and then there's
That's A. That's A and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. A and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then.
Then I have these like these
That may
ones.
be X. That may be X, Y, Z, W or something like that. And yet you will continue with 1, 2, 3, 4. Only thing is that those ones where they end with 1, suppose with the slanting one you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they end with 15. For this other center line, it will start with 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Are you getting it?
Okay, yeah.
But other than that, and you have only, it looks like you have only 2 sets. 2 sets are very normal.
Yeah, there's this one slant.
One with vertical and one slanting. That's it. It's only 2 sets of columns. No big deal.
There's this one. Yeah, I think I'll try to solve this, make it into a straight one only.
That's good enough. Good enough. So keep one as ABCD. Keep the verticals, keep the orthogonal ABCD, keep the slanting as XYZW. And from what I see, even the angular, you barely have 2 lines. So it may just come down to X and Y.
Right,
Maximum
these,
Z.
but these are 2, but I was, these are numbers.
Those will be the next set of numbers. So once you do the vertical one as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and finish at 15, 20 or whatever, then this angular wale ke other side will become 21, 22, 23. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Clear?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So who's this Aparna Venkata Subramaniam?
Yes.
You have any doubts?
No, I had 2 questions, but they were asked by other students. So like I already corrected them in my drawing. So yeah, I'm fine.
Great. Shruti Bajaj?
Yeah, I'm here.
You have any doubts?
No, even my doubts were asked. So, yeah.
But you all have all started over the weekend?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Rohanshu. Where did Rohanshu go? Rohanshu.
I don't think he was in the roll number list this sem.
No, he was just now here. He was just now here and he disappeared in the list.
Oh. Okay.
Rohanshu. Let's see if he's around. And let's call him. Is Rohanshu Chavan? His surname is Chavan by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. So he gathered that I'm calling people up and then suddenly Rutik. There is someone called Rutik Chopra.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Rutik, did you solve your center line and setting out?
No, not yet. I'm just doing it. Right.
All the best, son. All the best. If you have started just now, all the best. You have yet a BOQ to do. God bless you. Whose group are you in?
I'm in Neeraj's group.
Oh, no wonder you're taking it easy. No wonder you're taking it easy. Don't forget, I may just suddenly start looking at your work tomorrow. Yeah. Neeraj is my close friend. So I may just start looking at his students' work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Shitish Churi. Who's Shitish Churi?
Yeah. Hi, Jimmy.
Yes. Have you attempted center line and setting out?
I've attempted center line, but I'm actually doing the setting out plan now. So I have to work on it.
And center line?
Center line has started, but yeah, I mean I've resolved it most of it, so I'm completing it now.
Okay. I see someone called Ruhin has some doubt.
Yeah, I wanted to ask how much headspace do we need above lift for machineries?
How much? What do you require?
Headspace or space above lift shaft, I mean, for machinery.
See, you have to understand. Okay. First of all, you have to understand that at the on the last floor, please understand. So I do not know. So first of all, the lift machine room does not start directly at the terrace level. Okay. It starts at around 1.2 meters above the terrace level. So and preferably, if your lift stops on the last floor and between this excess 1.2 meter that is there, a person should be able to stand between the lift and the lift machine room.
Okay.
So he should have a good minimum 2.4 meters between the top of the lift and the lift machine room. Yeah. So are you getting it? So bottom line, lift machine room is never flushed with the terrace floor. Lift machine room is always 1.2 meters higher than the terrace floor. Sometimes there is a trap door through which you can enter the lift from that space. Most of the time you are able to come down from the lift machine room on top of the lift at the last floor. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So suppose your floor height is 3 meters. Okay. Your lift is 1.8. Right?
Right, yeah.
So out of 3 meters, 1.8 is you're gone. So you have how much? 1.2. Right?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
1.2 is not good enough to stand and work. So you give an additional 1.2 beyond the terrace level.
Okay, but if my lift is
So
only till
1.2 of, let me finish. 1.2 of the actual floor and 1.2 that you have given additional, you get a complete 2.4 for anybody to stand on top of the lift in case he needs to do something on top of the lift. Got it?
Yeah, understood. Yeah.
Yeah. What is now your query?
No. If my lift is only accessible till my first floor, then I mean there shouldn't be any issue, right? If I
Then there
also
is no
have
issue. No, then there is no issue. If there are upper floors and only. But bottom line, from the top, at the topmost level to which the lift accesses, there should always be 2.4 meters on after which the lift machine room should be planned.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Anybody else? It is 2:30. We have taken questions for literally an hour. Should we continue with these questions or should we now get to the BOQ part? Yes.
Can I just screen share?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, Jimmy. I have a small doubt. So basically, I am having a setback distance of 4.5 meter, but it is somehow getting compacted with the other side of retaining wall. So it now becomes like 4 meters. So I am literally somehow confused that like how should I figure out it?
If your guide allows you with a 4.4 meter setback, I have no problem with it. You talk to your guide if it that 4. Otherwise, you shift your building inside. As simple as
Okay.
that.
Yeah, but now after the retaining walls come, because I have the basement in the parking in the basement. So basically the retaining walls will come like this. So the 500 mm thick retaining walls will come from this side also because this is the slope. So is this fine if it becomes like 4 meter somehow? Because the car.
Why is the retaining wall so thick? Retaining wall is only 150 mm thick. 500 mm thick retaining wall बना के क्या मतलब है?
Okay.
This goes to everybody. ये देखो, just zoom in into this retaining wall. Just zoom. देखिए नील का retaining wall, the columns are actually fitting into the retaining wall. जबकि उल्टा होना चाहिए. You know what? Retaining wall is 150 mm, column is 300 mm. तो क्या होएगा? Column क्या होएगा? Retaining wall से
बाहर निकलेगा.
बाहर निकलेगा. Projection होएगा. तुम लोग उल्टा कर रहे हो. No retaining wall is ever thicker than the column. If any column comes and meets the retaining wall, the retaining column will always project out from the retaining wall. Please be clear about this. Retaining walls are not thicker than 150 mm. ठीक है? Especially small retaining. और ये आपका 4 मीटर वगैरह, हाँ वो मुझे नहीं लगता है कोई इशू है.
Okay. Or like I have issue with the parking. Like I live in Gadchiroli, so basically my site is so compacted that there are only 15 cars fit. Like both ये करके.
जो भी है, आप समझने की कोशिश कीजिए कि हम ये बेसमेंट का एक्सरसाइज इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि आप इसके थ्रू बेसिस पे कई चीजें सीखे. रिटेनिंग वॉल, राफ्ट, रैंप, कितने गाड़ी फिट हो रहे हैं वो कंसर्न नहीं है आज की तारीख में. आप साइट के ऊपर कोई गाड़ियां फिट करने की कोशिश कीजिए.
ओके. हाँ
साइट में भी जगह नहीं है ना?
नहीं, साइट में जगह नहीं है इसलिए.
तो गडचिरोली में इतना टाइट प्लॉट कहाँ से मिला भाई? इतना क्या जमीन का मारा मारी है? बंबई में मैं समझ सकता हूँ कि जमीन नहीं मिलती. गडचिरोली में भी जमीन के लिए इतना मारा मारी है क्या प्लॉट के लिए?
नहीं वैसा नहीं था वो. एक्चुअली वाइल साइट सिलेक्शन आई हैव चूजन अ थिएटर जो पहले से
बहुत टाइट कपड़े लेते. तुमने सोचा नहीं कॉटन कपड़े लेते हैं, जब धोते हैं तो जरा टाइट हो ही जाता है. नहीं सोचा था. चलेगा अभी जो भी है. The attendance is dropping now to 65. Wonderful. I think I should wait to download the attendance. Yes, Neil. Thank you. अथर्व, तो अभी नहीं प्रेजेंट करेगा तो कभी होने वाला ही नहीं है तेरा चांस.
कर रहा. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes.
So like this is my whole structure where the columns are going down. So if I go to my basement plan, तो like वो columns पूरे नीचे आ जाते हैं. तो do I need to give reinforcement over here कि like ये मेरी retaining wall जो है उसके बीच में मुझे column देना पड़ेगा?
Of course, very. नहीं मेरी बात सुने. ये this retaining wall has nothing to do with the structure, no?
No, but
RCC retaining wall has its own reinforcement. It doesn't need additional columns in the retaining wall.
Okay.
लेकिन तुम्हारा स्ट्रक्चर के कॉलम्स और रिटेनिंग वॉल के बीच में इतना बड़ा डिस्टेंस है, तो उसके लिए जो स्लैब डालने वाले उसके लिए तो बीच में कॉलम लगेंगे.
हाँ, वो that is why I was asking.
वो बीच में कॉलम लगेंगे. बीच में यानी किधर? तुम्हारा कर्सर घुमाओ. हाँ, ये स्पैन को टेक केयर करने के लिए या इधर किधर तो कॉलम लगेगा. वो दूसरे साइड पे भी जाइए. दूसरे साइड पे जाइए आपके. हाँ, उसके बीच में किधर तो कॉलम आने वाला है. नहीं तो ऊपर का स्लैब का क्या कैसे स्पैन करोगे?
इधर
कितना मीटर है?
ये 9.5 मीटर है. इधर से इधर मैंने चेक किया 9.5 है.
9.5 है तो चल जाएगा. चल जाना चाहिए. लेकिन वो दूसरे साइड पे तो बहुत जगह है. देखिए आप.
इधर बहुत जगह है.
हाँ, फिर क्या है? तो मैदान है. इधर तो कॉलम बीच में डालना ही पड़ेगा. 1 रो ऑफ कॉलम्स आप डाल ही दो.
ओके.
नहीं तो ऊपर का स्लैब को लोड ट्रांसफर कैसा हो पाएगा?
हाँ. एंड देन देयर कैन बी लाइक अ
कटआउट. क्या है ये कटआउट? क्या और आप चारों बाजू में बढ़ा रहे हैं क्या?
नहीं ये दो बाजू, ये और ये बाजू.
तो टॉयलेट कौन से बाजू है?
टॉयलेट्स इधर पीछे आ रहे हैं.
तो वो भी बेसमेंट में उतरने वाले हैं क्या?
नहीं.
नक्की ना?
हाँ.
ओके. और ये बीच में कटआउट मार्क किया है वो क्या है भाई?
हाँ, वो लिफ्ट है. वो प्रॉपर करनी है मुझे. आई नो.
वो तो अभी कॉलम नहीं होता है. लिफ्ट को शियर वॉल लगते हैं.
हाँ. या आई नो.
चलो, anybody else? So can we start going to BOQ now? Anybody else with any doubt? Yes, Arham, tell me.
So I just wanted to ask that can there be openings in the shear wall like when they come up? And if there, because last time I did, sorry. Yeah.
Of course, if the shear walls are very long, then but naturally you can have openings.
Is there like a limit to where we can like have because I wanted my actually like my loading area has like a shear wall, so I wanted like if a truck comes in, I wanted that kind of an opening. So is that kind of an opening possible?
See, everything has to be done in Vidya. If you make a shear wall, and have 60% of it as opening. Does the shear wall make sense?
No, then it doesn't.
So the percentage of the opening will depend upon the length of the shear wall. Should you make 10%, 15%, it is acceptable. If you make a shear wall of 50%, if you make 50% opening of the shear wall, anybody will question it, na? कि आप shear wall दे ही क्यों रहे हो? बीच में
columns only.
Columns दे दो और निपटा दो ना इतना अगर आपको बीच में opening चाहिए तो बराबर है?
Right, yeah.
Next, anybody else?
And Jimmy, just continuing the question which I had, तो बीच में जो खाली space है, there I would be giving columns. So and उसके ऊपर there can be like a flat slab, na, which would
yes, there can be any slab, and those columns may not continue also above the ground.
Okay, yeah.
Those will be there only for basement columns. You need to give different nomenclature because they are not going to go above the ground.
Yeah.
Anybody else? If there are no more queries, we can then get to, we can now get into the looking at the BOQ one item by item. At least those people who have attempted the BOQ, we can start off with them and they can guide us what items that they have taken and stuff like that. So how many people have already attempted the BOQ? Can you please raise your hands? Anyhow, not complete. I'm just saying attempted. Just attempted. My God, only 4, 5.
I haven't started writing it down, but I've got the SketchUp model with volumes. So I'm just gonna have to copy it.
Any attempt, any attempt. I'm saying minimum. Even first 2 items, if you have attempted, is good enough. I see 13 people have attempted. Okay, which is very poor. 13 people. Okay. 14. Sahil 15. Okay. So let's start one by one. Yeah. Let's start looking whether everybody is clear about how to go about it. Those who have not attempted, at least please open a book. Please open a book, some sketchbook, notebook, something, and start writing down the numbers. At least other people have done their bit. So, yeah. Why did you all put your hands down? I want all those hands up. Please put those 15 people, please put your hands up. It is only through you that I can start solving one item and you know that whether you all are missing out on something. There's nothing to be shy about. We will use you to discuss one items. There's nothing to worry. So all those 15 hands, please go up again and don't lower your hands so that I can start the discussion with them. Otherwise, it will come down that I have to imagine everything on my own. So there is someone called Kshitij Mehta. Kshitij, what is the first item you have on your BOQ?
Hello.
Yes, Kshitij.
Yeah, so the first item is first at the boundary.
Barricading. First item you put barricading.
Yeah.
Okay, so have you written down the BOQ? Have you written the specification? Did you attempt writing the specification? And whose photo did you put? Who is this Lee sheet? Wait, kya hai ye? What is this? You are as old as him or what? Or you look familiar? No. What is it?
I just put it because I thought it's funny.
You don't, please understand that I have never seen you. Yeah. The least you do is put a good photograph such that we can relate to each other. Yeah. Don't scare me by putting Chinese now in our class. We've had enough of Chinese for the year. Enough of Chinese problems for the year. I don't know who this Lee sheet is. Yeah. For your classmates, they may be knowing you well. But don't forget, faculty are dealing with you. The college particularly shot my photograph such that I put up a good photograph in Teams. Can you believe that? This photograph that you see in Teams, is shot by the photograph, is shot by the college particularly, telling me that you don't have good photographs, you might as well have a good photograph to put on Teams such that you may not be owning your camera all the time. So Kshitij, may I please stop scaring us and put a good photograph. We've had enough of Chinese for 1.5 years. Yeah?
Yeah.
So your first item you take up is what? Barricading?
Yeah.
Did you write the specification by any chance?
You mean like the dimension?
No. First you frame the specification, no? In the BOQ, right? Providing and fixing for.
Yeah, okay. So like that. I wrote providing erecting of 3 meter high side barricade made of MS powder coated shield fixed on a metal frame with appropriate provisions for gate to allow vehicular traffic.
Exact. Perfect. And did you work out the and did you even do the calculation for it?
I thought of I wrote down the dimensions, but I still have to write the area basically. Like
it will be in square meters. Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be in square meters. You will take the entire periphery of your plot and you will multiply it by 3, right?
Yeah.
So length by height, and that should give you the area of your barricading in square meters.
So like, does it
that
have
you
to
will
be
do in the
all
measurement
4?
sheet. Haji.
Okay. So does it have to be all the 4 sides combined, or do I have to like for the north side one measurement, then west side another, or like combined only?
You could do combined. You could do even. It would be best if you did it. It would be best if you did it direction wise. Like if you gave 4 lengths, it would be best. I've just said it. I said periphery because there's no better way to explain length.
Yeah.
If you give it 4 lengths and multiply them by heights of 3 meter in the measurement sheet, nothing like it. That would be the perfect way of doing the first item. Yeah.
Okay.
Is this clear to everybody? Anybody has any doubt on the first item called barricading? Please understand, safety is priority on sites. Yeah, barricading is a safety feature both for you as well as for others. So barricading a site is a must. I hope everybody's clear about that. Yeah. Kshitij, I hope you can put a good photograph by the end of the class.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ruhi, are you there? What's the next item you have taken up after barricading?
It's providing labors. So the description goes like providing for labor to clear the site of its grass and existing pavement in order to get site in a working condition.
Perfect. Very good. So what you're calling is clearing of site.
Yeah, right.
And how okay. So what did you that's how what did you write? Providing for labor to
providing for laborers to create the site of its grass and existing pavement in order to get site in a working condition.
Perfect. And how are you intending to measure this?
So I've taken already the measurements, my lengths for north side, south side, west side and east side. I've calculated area which goes around 1,850. So yeah.
Your plot is as small as that, 1,850?
Yeah.
Square meters?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're working on a very tight plot, man.
Yeah.
Sure, no? Your calculations are right, no?
I think it's sure, but I'll still, recheck.
Square meter, it has to be square meter.
Yeah.
But it's sure it is just 1,000 and not 10,000, no? You didn't miss out on a zero somewhere, no?
I'll recheck.
Architects are very poor in calculation. Huh? This is something you need to check.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
Bhavika, what is the next item you've taken up?
Sorry, I have a question in this.
Bolo.
So if we want to clean the whole site, we'll put the area of whole site and we can just put the barricade for the site, that part of the site where we are constructing, right? We don't need to barricade the complete site.
Of course not. Okay. Of course not. Whatever is but if you have a very large site, why will you barricade everything? You'll spend more money in barricading than building. Of course not. So you'll barricade but in the drawing, in the site plan, you will indicate how much you're barricading.
Okay.
In the site plan or in the setting out drawing or in the location plan, clearly indicate what you're barricading. So now what is happening is that your BOQ is actually feeding into your drawings information that you actually should have drawn. So indicate the extent of the barricading in the setting out drawing or in the location plan. Is that clear? Bhavika, can you go find the next item? What is the next item you've jotted down?
I've written providing machinery and labor for excavating ground up to 2.5 meter deep for raft foundation and shoring and dewatering the excavation.
Excellent, excellent. Perfectly written. Beautiful. And how are you going to measure this?
I calculated the area and then I multiplied it by 2.5 meter, which is the height. So I got the volume.
Cubic meters, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Very nice. I hope this is clear to everybody. Can you repeat the specification one more time for the benefit of one and all?
Yeah, providing machinery and labor for excavating ground up to 2.5 meter deep for raft foundation and shoring and dewatering the excavation.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, I hope everybody feel free to always, feel free to use today's evening to share specification amongst each other. Yeah, because now at the last minute, but naturally people like Bhavika and all that may have written it well based on our earlier lecture, but now at the last minute, when your mind is not working and the time is short, yeah, it may make sense to even beg, borrow and steal from each other. May make sense. Yeah, the entire life is there to learn and draft your own specification. But for tomorrow, when time is short and you are on gas, you might as well borrow from classmates that are there. Yeah, people who have already drafted them out nicely can help others. Feel free to share your BO. Feel free to share your specification. There is no problem about sharing specification. Just don't share measurements because those will get checked. Yeah, those will get checked big time. Sahil, can you tell us what is the next item you've done?
I had actually listed it till site clearance, but I can try laying off the PCC bed.
Exactly. So how much PCC bed would you like to lay below the raft for its stability?
I think 150 mm deep.
Okay. Shravan, would you like to lay soling, rubble soling before doing PCC?
Yeah, packing earth and rubble soling.
Okay, so then can you give the specification for rubble soling before Sahil goes about trying the specification for PCC?
Does packing the earth and rubble soling come in one specification or separately?
What?
Does the flattening the earth and rubble soling come in the same?
Flattening, there is nothing like flattening the earth. There is not. Once
But
you've
we
done,
don't
see, once what Bhavika gave about using machinery to dig, no, that machinery people have to flatten and go, na. They can't leave uneven and go, no.
So that hatch we do, that comes in the excavation only. That hatch we do of the flat ram packed earth.
That's done by the excavation. Yeah, that's all as part of excavation. Yeah, they will excavate and give. You won't allow them to go till they have done a proper job, no? Why will you put see, once the machinery people came, dig and went, why will you now put additional labor to flatten stuff? You will make sure that they flatten things and give you the way you want it to start work immediately. And the next work is that if you want to lay dry rubble packing, you might as well have the site ready for it. Exactly.
Right.
Can you give me dry rubble packing ka specification, Shravan?
So, laying a 20 centimeter, providing a 20 centimeter thick layer of small rocks and gravel in the form of
how much? 250 mm. Yeah. Providing a layer of 250 mm of dry rubble packing and compacting the same by watering.
Okay. Compacting the same by water. Okay.
Providing and laying of 250 mm thick dry rubble packing in black basalt, in black rough basalt, and compacting the same using watering. That is
Right.
if you want to do dry rubble packing below your PCC. You should. It is good because then your PCC lays on, you're laying PCC on rock. You're not laying PCC on mud, which becomes
Which can
difficult to
shift.
manage. Yeah. So, Sahil, can you give the specification for PCC?
Yes. Providing labor to lay.
लेबर नहीं,
one is
प्रोवाइडिंग एंड लेइंग. लेबर और मटेरियल कौन देगा अगर तुम लेबर ही देने वाले हो तो?
Yes, sorry. Providing and laying material and labor to lay 1:4:8 concrete
No, PCC.
for
PCC of 1 m.
PCC.
PCC of 150 thick 150 mm or 150 mm thick. With what do you do? PCC you need to usually vibrate it with vibration. Yeah, with vibration,
Yes.
with formwork, vibration, curing, etc. Yeah.
Okay. Do we also specify the period for
providing and
curing?
laying of 1:4:8 PCC 150 mm thick with shuttering, vibration, curing, etc. Yes, you were saying
Okay.
something, Sahil.
Yeah. Do we also specify the time period for curing, or that is decided later?
No, not don't expect. They know, everybody knows their bit. Once you write curing, everybody knows their bit. Yeah, you're not paying extra for time for curing. Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Who's
Right,
next?
right.
Let's see who's next. There is Aradhya. Aradhya, after PCC, what would you like to do in your?
Then comes the foundation. So in my case, since it's a raft foundation, so I've written it like this: providing and laying 1:1.5:3 concrete with proper admixtures and thorough packing. The raft foundation 300 mm thick, as indicated by laying appropriate formwork and level to appropriate slope.
Exactly. Good enough. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. 1:1:1.1 to 1.5 to 3, 300 mm thick, raft slab, yeah, concrete, laid with appropriate formwork, vibration, curing, and laid to appropriate slope as indicated in the structural engineer's drawing. Yeah. Yeah, good enough. And then you're taking the dimension right up to the toe, no?
As in?
The dimension of the raft will not go from retaining wall to retaining wall. It will extend beyond the retaining wall, which is called the toe of the raft.
How much does it extend?
It extends not much, between 150 to 200 mm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but that's necessary, yeah?
Yeah,
that the size of the raft is going to be beyond the retaining wall.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Ambika. Ambika, what is the next item you've taken, Ambika?
One more doubt. My foundation, I've taken a slab beam type raft foundation, which is why after
Ambika,
that
I can't hear you.
Hello, am I audible?
Barely. Did you have lunch?
Yes, I did. Am I audible now?
Now you're barely audible. I have not yet had lunch, and yet you can hear me screaming into the screen. So I can request you.
With my laptop audio, let me just rejoin from my phone.
No, you're pretty clear. Just go ahead now. I can't afford to waste time. I may just faint. It is 3 o'clock.
I mentioned casting the slab beam type raft foundation. After that, I've written RCC columns because I didn't have a stub column. I have infill of brickbat, Koba, and screed. So for RCC column, I've written providing and laying of 1:1.5:3 concrete for columns with appropriate shuttering up to the height of my entire basement, which is 4.7 meters.
4.7 meter basement? Why? What are you doing in the basement? What you're assembling some nuclear plant? What is it? Why do you need 4.7 height basement?
I was thinking of like a double level parking.
Oh my God, that's a scary ordeal. Why would you do that? Eee. Who's your guide?
Meenal.
Haji?
Meenal.
So you discussed with her for a double heighted basement?
Yeah, I've made two options for the drawings. One of them is a double height.
I wouldn't. Please understand, all works under the ground cost a lot and are barely appreciated. Okay, and they are non-usable to a very large extent, non-usable area. So the decisions you have to take for works below the ground have to be you have to be very careful about them, huh?
Okay, I'll confirm it with my guide tomorrow.
Even a couple of even of 150 mm additional height in the basement height can actually cost a lot. Just 150 mm, that is 6 inches. Just imagine you're doing it more than double. I would request you to please reconsider.
Okay, will do.
Okay. So everybody needs to understand, after casting the raft, you have the option either to give the specification for casting of columns or casting of retaining wall, either of the two. Yeah. So Ambika spoke about casting of columns. Yeah. Very clear. Yeah. Now, Fleur, can you please give us the specification for casting of retaining walls? You had anything particular to say, Ambika?
No, but I just wanted to check. I've also mentioned the brickbat, Koba, infill, and screed and flow finish. So that all is also counted in this, right?
In
For
the raft,
tomorrow?
after the raft, yes. The raft will get finished using, yes, please don't forget that the raft will have inbuilt drainage pipes on the floor. So you'll have to do a brickbat, Koba and a, what did you say? Brickbat, Koba and screed.
I did, yes, screed 25 mm thick.
So can you give the specification? It would be nice if you give the specification for the other two items also.
Yes. So my next title is infill. Then I write brickbat, Koba laid up to 0.3 meters until level plane attained. And then I have screed 25 mm thick screed laid to slope. And then for floor finish, I have personally chosen IPS. So I've written providing and laying 50 mm thick. Or if you just take PCC, you can write 1:1.5:3. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
I had a question, sir. So after the foundation, won't the retaining wall come, or does that come with the raft foundation? I mean, do we write it with the raft foundation itself, the retaining wall?
No, separate. Raft, all elements. Raft will be written separately, column separately, retaining wall separately, and the slab on the ground floor separately.
All right.
Yeah, all are different. Understand, all of them have very different requirements in shuttering, in kind of labor, in kind of admixtures, in kind of effort to cast all these. Each of them have very different peculiarities in working with them. So there cannot be one single rate applied to all of them. Understand, Aradhya?
Yeah.
Doing the shuttering for a raft is very different from doing the shuttering of a retaining wall, is very different from doing the shuttering of a column, is very different from doing shuttering of a slab. Each of these have very different rates. And so you cannot put them all under one head. Yeah. Fleur, can you go ahead and finish off with the retaining wall?
Yeah, I had just a small question that don't we have to put the if we write about the foundation of the columns?
Aji?
Like normally the columns come below the raft. It can happen sometimes.
No, we are considering here that the load of the column is being dispersed onto the ground vis-a-vis the raft.
Okay, but if it goes
the
below,
raft is what is the raft? What are columns and what are raft? Raft is just imagine people standing on a raft and it is floating. You don't need separate foundation for people who are standing on a raft, no? The raft distributes the load all over to be able to the raft to float, right?
Yeah.
So it's something similar like that. All columns coming onto the raft is thick enough to be able to disperse the load all over the ground. Okay.
All right, but if you have like 4 specific columns that really need more,
then you give specific, yeah. Then if you have a couple of columns who do not come and land themselves on the raft, then but naturally you have to give a separate element, separate specification for footing.
Okay.
As of now, can you help us with the retaining wall?
Yeah. So providing an laying of RCC 1:1.5:3 with appropriate shuttering to height 3 meters. Late and should be there should
with appropriate
shuttering,
compacting,
vibration and curing.
watermarks, yeah, and watermarks and waterproofing along the exterior for a retaining wall.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Tanvi Daga, what is the next item you have considered?
So after that, I have plinth beam.
Okay, you have separate plinth beam. Otherwise, you can directly go for slab and beam.
Actually, I don't have a basement because I had a very large site.
Oh my God, who's allowing you to do a project without a basement? Who's your guide?
Ainsley.
Aji?
Ainsley.
I'm going to fire him. And you be very careful. Should I ever come to your jury? I'm not. Why are you getting away without doing a basement? The learnings of the basement you are going to get completely. It's unfair that you are doing a project without the learnings of a basement.
But I have made all the sketches which were there in the class as well.
Okay, so that means you resolved the basement separately.
Yeah, I've made the sketches and I'm also in discussion with my friends who are doing the basement so that I don't miss.
So come on, let's look at discussion on plinth beams. What is the, in case others also, like you may have certain separate columns, they may require plinth beams. Like Fleur was saying that she has 4 columns that don't go into the draft. Then those columns require footing. They will also require plinth beams. So can you give us the description for plinth beams?
Providing in casting of plinth beams with 1:1.5:3 ratio concrete with appropriate shuttering and time for curing laid to line and level.
Okay, good enough. Good enough. And you have also done all the measurement sheet as of now?
Yeah. I have started my measurement sheet. I'm starting the measurements for everything.
Good enough. Good enough. Anybody whose work is all done and can afford to go for a drive or a walk today, or can afford to chill out and see a movie, anybody of that order? Anybody that organized who's doesn't need to work on a Tuesday evening for a Wednesday submission? ऐसा है क्या कोई भी class में? Shravan, you know anybody in the class who has that kind of reputation, work done and put aside one day even before the submission? You know any particular guy in the class?
Best we get is people who sleep at 10.
Haji?
Best we get is people who sleep at 10.
There are people who sleep at 10?
That's the best we get, I think.
Who are they? Who are they?
I don't know if I should be taking names here because it's a controversial topic.
We are talking
I don't even know exactly who, but I know some people. It depends on the subject also. Like sometimes even I'll sleep at 10 if it's like this thing, or depending on the guide and submission.
So you finally blew your own horn.
For history I can't afford to sleep at 10. I write very fast and very well. It's a written submission, no?
Okay. That's because you have not had me to take history in the second year. Otherwise, you would be drawing all night.
But I'm genuinely enjoying the history submission.
Oh, good. I'm glad. But there are people now who are well organized. See, by these 15 already, these 15 people who are in a position to talk about their BOQ itself shows that they are well ahead and they have been working. So that goes without doubt. I'm just trying to make the conversation a little though I should not extend the conversation considering I'm dying of hunger and I've had just taken my second shot of the vaccine today. It's not right that I do all this, but then whatsoever. Yeah, I'm just trying to extend the conversation beyond that. So Chirag, can you tell us what is the next item on your mind for the BO?
Ground floor slab.
Ground floor slab. What kind of slab do you have, Chirag? You're in my group only, so I should know what slab you have.
Yeah. So
you're working with a waffle slab, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So can you give the specification for a waffle slab?
Like I haven't completed till there. I had doubt with the waffle slab.
Attempt it. Now I know you may have not completed. Yes, attempt it. Providing and casting for formwork
slab.
Yeah, RCC slab.
RCC 1:1.5:2.
3. 1:1.5.
Yeah, 1:1.5 to 3.
Yeah, with appropriate laying, compacting, curing,
shuttering. Yeah.
Laid to line and level as per the structural drawing provided.
Yeah.
So can anybody tell me till the slab at the ground level, how many items are there? Fleur, can you tell me how many items would have been there? Or anybody?
About like 8 to 10.
8 to 10 items? Yeah. It is expected that tomorrow you should have between 8 to 10 items. This will be conveyed to all the faculty today evening. That the BOQ is not expected to be pretty lengthy. It will start from barricading. It will end to the slab at the ground level. And there should be not more than 8 to 10 items that should be expected from you, both by way of BOQ as well as measurement sheet. I hope I am very clear. Beyond
I
that,
got the sizes of some things, so I can just add them without a specification if I've got the sizes.
Yeah.
Because SketchUp model.
As far as your guide allows you, it's good enough. Yeah. Okay. Beyond that, is there any query for the day? For tomorrow's submission?
I had a small query for the BOQ last part. So if we are having a normal slab for the ground floor level, do we write for the beam separately or we write it with the
inclusive,
slab?
all inclusive.
Okay.
All inclusive. Just take the entire length, width and depth. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, just length. But please understand, all concrete items, all RCC items are in cubic meter. So they will all be length, width and depth. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Tanvi, you have particularly something to ask?
No, my hand was up by mistake.
Okay. Is there any query for tomorrow's submission? Any particular query? Please note, I will let the guides know that between 8 to 10 items are expected. The order will be from barricading to ground floor slab. Beyond that, yeah, we are taking it a little easy, not expecting anything above ground. Yeah. Beyond that, I hope, please, first of all, don't remain absent tomorrow. Whatever work you have, however incomplete it may be, please attend tomorrow's class. If you stay absent, I have no opportunity I have no option than to put a 0. No guide has no opportunity to put a 0 for a student who's absent. If you have less work, at least the next Wednesday, you can make up. Your guide can give you an opportunity to make up and do additional work. So if someone like in my group has any one of the items incomplete, I can always mark him less and can always upgrade his mark next Wednesday, because 1 week is always allowed, considering that nobody's work is perfect and always people get an opportunity to upgrade their work. That only counts if you attend tomorrow's class. Don't portray if you're ill or out or whatever that is there and miss the class. If you are absent, automatically the marks become 0 and you do not get any opportunity for mark upgradation. I hope I made myself very, very clear, though there are only 65 people presently in the class. Yeah. Please put this on your class group. I wish you all the best for tomorrow's marking. If there are no issues for the day, goodbye.
Sorry, Jimmy, I just had one last question.
Oh,
Very sorry.
Tell me.
If I'm pigmenting or staining my my material, then do I mention a brand of pigment or just the kind of color of the pigment?
Just the color as of now.
Okay.
Just the color. If you have any, if you're using any particular brand, writing brands is no problem at all. It will be appreciated.
Okay, I'll see if I can find brands for concrete pigment.
But as of now, color and all that is good enough. Anybody else? Anything else? Can we call it a day? Can we call it a day for today? Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.